Have you ever bought something you didn't need because it was on sale? Be honest. Maybe it was a jacket in 3 different colors because buy 2, get 1 free. Maybe it was a cart full of stuff on Black Friday that you never looked at before November. Maybe it was a subscription you signed up for because the first 3 months were 70% off, and somehow you're still paying full price 2 years later.
If any of that sounds familiar, you're not impulsive. You're not bad with money. You're human. Because there is a trap built into almost every sale, every discount, every limited time offer you've ever seen. And it's not designed to save you money. It's designed to take more of it. Here's the belief most of us walk around with.
Sales are good. Discounts save money. Smart shoppers wait for deals. And on the surface, that makes complete sense. If something costs $100 and you buy it for $60, you saved $40. That's math. That's real. But here's what the math doesn't capture. What if you weren't going to buy that thing at all? What if you walked into the store for toothpaste and walked out with a $60 jacket, 2 candles, a blender you don't need, and the toothpaste? All because everything had a red sale tag on it.
You didn't save $40. You spent $60 you had no plan to spend. This is the discount trap, and it is one of the most psychologically sophisticated money drains in modern life. Retailers, apps, and e-commerce platforms have spent billions of dollars and decades of research perfecting it. And most of us walk straight into it every single time.
Meet Maya. She's 31, lives in Atlanta, works in marketing, makes good money, considers herself a smart, intentional spender. One Tuesday evening, Maya gets an email. Subject line, flash sale, 50% off everything, today only. Maya wasn't planning to shop. She wasn't even thinking about shopping. But 50% off everything? She figures she'll just take a quick look. 40 minutes later, Maya has spent $180 on things she definitely did not need on Monday.
But here's the fascinating part. Maya doesn't feel bad about it. She actually feels good because in her mind, she saved money. The items were worth $360. She got them for $180. She saved $180. Except she didn't. She spent $180 she wasn't going to spend. The $180 saved was never real. It was never in her account. It was invented by the retailer to make the spending feel like winning. This psychological phenomenon has a name. Economists call it phantom savings. It's the gap between the price something is listed at and the price you actually pay, and the way our brains treat that gap as real money we've earned rather than a discount on money we've spent. The $180 Maya saved doesn't exist anywhere. It's not in her bank account. It's not in her investment portfolio. It evaporated the moment it was created. But it felt real enough to make her spend $180 she had no intention of spending. That's the trap. And it's just getting started. Now let's talk about the psychology underneath this, because once you see it, you genuinely cannot unsee it. There's a principle in behavioral economics called anchoring. It works like this. When you see a price, your brain immediately uses it as a reference point, an anchor for every judgment you make afterward. So when a coat is listed at $300, your brain locks in $300 as the real value of that coat. Now when you see it for $150, your brain doesn't think, I'm spending $150. It thinks, I'm getting $150 off. The anchor shifts your entire perception. You're no longer evaluating whether you need the coat. You're not asking if $150 is a reasonable price. You're not thinking about your budget. You're thinking about the $150 you're getting, and that feels like winning. So you buy. Retailers know this, which is why almost nothing is ever sold at its original price anymore. The original price is often set artificially high for the sole purpose of creating a dramatic anchor, so the sale price feels irresistible by comparison. That $300 coat may have never sold a single unit at $300. It may have been manufactured and priced specifically to be discounted to $150. The $300 tag isn't a real price. It's a psychological tool.
Here's another layer. Have you ever noticed that sales almost always come with a deadline? Offer ends Sunday, only 3 left in stock, today only. That's not coincidence. That's a very deliberate trigger of something called FOMO, fear of missing out. Your brain has a deeply wired instinct to avoid loss. Psychologists call this loss aversion. And research shows that the pain of losing something feels about twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining something of equal value.
So when a sale says ends tonight, your brain doesn't just think cool deal. It thinks if I don't act now, I lose this. And the fear of that loss overrides your rational thinking almost completely. You stop asking, do I need this? You start asking, can I afford to miss this? Those are completely different questions, and the second one almost always leads to spending. Let me give you one more psychological mechanism. This one is subtle but incredibly powerful. It's called the transaction utility effect. Discovered by economist Richard Thaler, it basically says this: we get pleasure not just from owning things, but from the act of getting a good deal.
Which means we can enjoy buying something even if we don't particularly need or want it, simply because the deal itself feels satisfying. This is why people buy things in bulk they'll never finish, why they grab one for the road at a sale even when their closet is already full, why they feel a little buzz at checkout when the savings total is high. The purchase isn't really about the product, it's about the dopamine hit of feeling like a smart shopper, of winning the deal.
Retailers figured this out a long time ago, and they engineer the entire shopping experience. The countdown timers, the red tags, the "you saved $47 today" receipt messages, specifically to manufacture that feeling. You're not shopping, you're being played. Here's the deeper truth underneath all of this. The discount trap isn't just about one jacket or one flash sale. It's about a consistent pattern of spending triggered not by need or even genuine desire, but by the illusion of saving.
And over time, that pattern compounds in a very painful direction. Think about it this way. If Maya falls into this trap just twice a month, 2 flash sales, 2 too good to pass up moments, and spends an unplanned $150 each time, that's $300 a month, $3,600 a year. Over 10 years, that's $36,000 spent on things she didn't plan to buy, doesn't vividly remember buying, and probably doesn't still own. And here's what makes it truly costly. That $36,000 wasn't just spent, it was never invested. At a conservative 8% annual return, $300 a month invested over 10 years is roughly $55,000. Maya didn't just spend $36,000 on phantom savings, she gave up $55,000 in real future wealth for things that were on sale. This is what the discount trap actually costs, not the price on the tag, the opportunity cost of money that could have been building wealth, but instead bought temporary dopamine. And here's the piece that makes this especially tricky. The discount trap is most dangerous for people who are actually trying to be responsible with money. Impulsive spenders just buy things, but financially conscious people feel like buying on sale is a form of discipline. It's a way of saying, I waited for the right price, I was smart about it. That belief is exactly what makes the trap so effective. The sale doesn't just make you spend, it makes you feel good about spending. It removes the guilt, replaces it with pride, and leaves you with an empty wallet and a full closet. This affects everyone. Students looking for deals on textbooks and clothes, immigrant families who were raised to be frugal and feel validated by a bargain, young professionals trying to stretch a salary, parents buying ahead of time because it was cheaper. The shape of the trap changes, the outcome doesn't. So how do you actually beat this? 3 shifts, simple, practical, and genuinely effective. Shift 1, ask the "would I buy at full price" test. Before any sale purchase, pause and ask yourself one honest question. Would I have bought this if it wasn't on sale? If the answer is yes, great, the discount is a bonus, go ahead. If the answer is no, then you're not saving money. You're spending money you had no intention of spending. The sale didn't save you anything. It cost you the full amount. This one question, asked consistently, will save you thousands of dollars a year because it cuts through the anchor. It ignores the phantom savings. It forces your brain back to the only question that actually matters. Do I want this? Shift 2. Use a 24-hour rule on all sale items. Urgency is a weapon. Deadlines are designed to shut down your rational thinking, so fight back with time. When you see a limited time offer, close the tab. Walk away from the store. Set a reminder for 24 hours later. If you still want it tomorrow and it's still available, buy it without guilt. If the sale is ended and you feel relief rather than regret, you just proved you didn't need it. Most flash sale items either stay on sale longer than advertised or return on sale within weeks. The deadline is usually a performance. Don't let a performance make your financial decisions. Shift 3. Track your savings honestly. Next time a receipt or a website says you saved $47 today, write down what you actually spent. Not what you saved, what you spent. Because savings that come with spending are not savings. They are discounts on purchases. Real savings live in your bank account. Real savings show up in your investment portfolio. Real savings are the money you chose not to spend at all. Start measuring your financial health by what you keep and grow, not by what the cashier screen says you saved. Here's what I want you to remember from this video.
Every sale is a conversation, and the retailer has been preparing for that conversation for decades. They know what colors trigger urgency. They know what words trigger fear. They know exactly how to make you feel like walking away is a loss. You can still shop sales. You can still love a good deal. That's not the point. The point is to walk into that conversation with your eyes open, to know that the $300 anchor was probably invented, to know that the countdown timer is a psychological trigger, to know that the "you saved" message is designed to make spending feel like earning. Because the moment you see the trap clearly, it loses most of its power. Maya doesn't have to stop shopping. She just has to stop letting a red tag make her decisions for her. And neither do you. Real wealth isn't built by finding the best deals. It's built by spending intentionally, investing consistently, and never confusing the feeling of saving with the act of saving. Those are two very different things. And now you know the difference.